Jurassic World, Dominion mostly trashed in early reactions. Those of you determined to make up your own mind about Jurassic World, Dominion might want to skip everything after this sentence and wait to see the film this Friday. But for those of you who like to take into account what critics think, the social media embargo just lifted, and yikes. Yes, one could technically call the reactions mixed, since some people assert that they love the film, but make no mistake, most of the positive reactions also acknowledge the film has problems. And as for the negative reactions, at least one critic summed it up with a gif from Jurassic Park, involving Jeff Goldblum and that giant pile of dinosaur excrement. You know the one. Critics who hated it described it as wildly repetitive, cluttered, a misfire on all fronts, and even a just plain bad. One thing that got mentioned again and again is that insects apparently feature prominently at the expense of dinosaurs, though as with all such criticisms, we suspect that might have been more well-received had they liked the rest of the film. Meanwhile, the majority of critics who liked it described it as fun again and again, but also tended to use words like dumb, hokey, and odd a lot. In other words, as we said above, even the people who liked it said it has problems. But yes, a couple of people here and there did swear they unambiguously love it. Are we saying they're right? Far be it from us to tell you that you have to feel the same way critics did. But if their opinions matter to you, now you know what they are. The third film in the world of franchise and sixth Jurassic film overall, Jurassic World, Dominion stars Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard and Isabella Sermon from previous A World installments, alongside the returning Jurassic Park, stars Sam Neill, Laura Dern and Jeff Goldblum. It also stars DeWanda Wise, Mamoudou Athie, Deacon Lockman, Scott Hayes, Campbell Scott, B.D. Wong as Dr. Henry Wu, Justice Smith as Franklin Webb, Daniela Pineda as Dr. Zia Rodriguez and Omar Sy as Barry Sembin. Colin Trevorrow, who directed 2015's franchise reboot/sequel Jurassic World, and co-wrote Fallen Kingdom, returns to direct and co-write Dominion. Emily Carmichael co-wrote the screenplay. Top Gun maker Paramount sued over copyright breach. The family of the Israeli writer whose article inspired the 1986 Tom Cruise movie Top Gun is suing film studio Paramount Pictures for copyright infringement over its sequel. They claim the studio did not have the rights to Ehud Yoni's 1983 story, Top Guns, when it released the sequel Top Gun, Maverick last month. The film earned $548 million, £438 million, globally in its first 10 days of release. Paramount says the claim was without merit and vowed to contest it. Top Gun, Maverick sees Cruise reprise his role as U.S. Navy pilot Pete Maverick Mitchell from the original 1986 film. It had the fourth biggest opening weekend of any film in the COVID era, behind the best-selling Spider-Man, No Way Home, second place Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and then The Batman. The lawsuit, filed on Monday at the Los Angeles federal court by Shosh and Yuval Yoni, Ehud's widow and son, alleges that Paramount failed to reacquire the rights to Ehud's magazine article after it was terminated, under the U.S. Copyright Act. They are seeking unspecified damages from the film studio, including profits from Top Gun, Maverick. According to the lawsuit, Paramount's Top Gun franchise would not have existed without Ehud's literary efforts and evocative prose and narrative. The lawsuit said that in 2018, the Yonis informed Paramount that its rights to Ehud's article would be terminated 2 years later. It added that the studio lost the copyright for the piece in January 2020. Much as Paramount wants to pretend otherwise, they made a sequel to Top Gun after they lost their copyright, lawyer Mark Tobroff, who is representing the Yonis, told the BBC. Paramount said in a statement, "These claims are without merit, and we will defend ourselves vigorously." Mitra Ahurayan, a Los Angeles-based entertainment attorney, told the BBC that Paramount's plans to produce Top Gun, Maverick in 2018 and release it in 2019 were delayed because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Timing is going to be very important in this case because the notice of termination was sent to have an effective date of 2020, Ms. Ahurayan explained. The sequel sees Maverick return to the Top Gun Flying Academy as an instructor in charge of training a new generation of pilots. It gave Hollywood superstar Cruise his first $100 million, £80 million, opening weekend at the box office. His previous biggest opening weekend came in 2005 with War of the Worlds, which raked in $64 million, £51 million. Relative to 3 eventful days shake up a Chicago family in well-written, witty drama. Some movies just have that instant and intangible, but undeniable a lived-in feeling. It's as if we're parachuting in on the lives of the main characters, lives that existed before we had the privilege of checking in on these people, lives that will extend far beyond the brief amount of time we share with them. Relative is just such a film. Filmed primarily in the Rogers Park neighborhood and featuring a brilliant and eclectic cast of talented veterans and relative newcomers. This is a wickedly funny, occasionally poignant and authentic to its core drama/comedy about 3 eventful days in the life of a totally relatable extended family. And when I say relatable, I mean, who doesn't come from a uniquely colorful bunch where there's an almost equal equation of love and dysfunction branching through the family tree? Much of a relative that takes place in and around the slate gray Victorian home where Karen and David Frank, Twin Peaks, and People Under the Stairs, legend Wendy Roby, and Steppenwolf Theatre Company icon Francis Guinan, respectively, have lived for some 30 years, raising 4 children and maintaining their progressive activism to this day. The upbeat Karen works at a local library, while crusty old David putters around the house in his gut-hugging flannel shirts and baggy jeans, making breakfast and reading on the porch. This is a man who probably never cared about his appearance. He's supremely comfortable in his own clothes and his own skin. 2 of the grown children still live at home. Benji, Cameron Scott Roberts, is about to graduate from college and become a digital cartographer for Google Maps, while Rod, Keith D. Gallagher, is an Iraq War veteran and divorced dad who spends nearly every waking moment in the basement, either playing video games or obsessing over his ex-wife Sarah, Heather Chrysler, who works as a webcam model of sorts. Returning home for Benji's graduation are sisters Yvonne and Claire Cooney, and Norma, Emily Lape. Yvonne is bringing her girlfriend Lucia, Melissa Dupree, and their daughter Emma, Ariel Gonzalez, while Norma is here solo without her family, and let's just say both sisters are experiencing some emotional speed bumps in their respective lives and relationships. The ensemble includes a number of other key characters, including the free-spirited Hecla, Elizabeth Stamm, an actress who meets Benji at the Hopleaf Bar and agrees to be his date for his graduation party at the house, knowing it will probably be weird and awkward and great fun, and she's not wrong. The gifted writer-director Michael Glover Smith, Mercury in Retrograde, Rendezvous in Chicago, continues to grow as a filmmaker, as he expertly moves around the pieces on a chessboard over the course of a story told over 3 days and filled with potentially life-changing confrontations, revelations, and realizations. Maybe if I didn't always ignore the shortcomings of our children, things would have worked out better for them. They might have turned out better, laments David, to which Karen replies, "My God, David, are they really that bad? I mean, it's not like any of them became Republicans." David, well, Rod is a libertarian, and that's worse. I hesitate to single out individual cast members because each character is so well written, and each performance is outstanding. I'd watch an entire film or series that was just about Karen and David, or Yvonne and Lucia and Emma, or Benji, or Rod, or Hecla. Having them all together under one roof, even when the roof might shake a little from all the conflict and drama, is simply fantastic. Chris Evans and Ryan Gosling trade insults and punches in The Gray Man trailer. We finally have a closer look at The Gray Man, Netflix's spy thriller featuring an all-star cast. The film's action-packed trailer arrived on May 24th, showing Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans on a wild spy chase. In the 2-minute clip, Gosling, as CIA operative Court Gentry, goes on the run from Evans's mustached Lloyd Hansen after spilling dark secrets about their organization. Netflix released another action-packed clip from the thriller on June 7th in honor of its 2nd annual Geeked Week. In the exclusive look, Evans and Gosling come to blows for their first face-to-face meeting, hurling pepper spray, grenades, and stun darts at each other in an epic brawl. Gosling and Evans star alongside Ana de Armas and Regine Page, who both play CIA officials. Coming to theaters and Netflix this summer, the movie is directed by Joe and Anthony Russo. The brothers and professional duo previously directed Avengers: Endgame and have worked extensively with Evans on various Marvel movies. The film reportedly cost $200 million, making it the most expensive Netflix film to date. The Gray Man is based on the book series of the same name by author Mark Greaney, and the Russo brothers have been adamant that they see this film as the beginning of a new series. Joe told Deadline, "The idea is to create a franchise and build out a whole universe. We have all committed to the first movie, and that's got to be great to get us to the second movie. These are master assassins, and Gosling's character gets burned by the CIA and Evans' character has to hunt him down. We're big fans of the spy genre, and we're always looking for ways of how to twist it, or supercharge it, or push it into areas that feel fresh," Anthony told Entertainment Weekly. "There was a great idea at the center of this book, where it's not just about being a spy, but being the most extreme version of one, where you have to hide your own identity and yourself.